Hi everyone, thank you for joining this whole body strengthening session. Some of these exercises are going to be quite challenging, so I hope that you are warmed up, ready to go. If not, pop away from this video, go and check out one of my 3 warm-up sessions and then come back and join this one when you are ready to go. Just to get your brains really tuned in to thinking about what your body is actually doing. I'd like you to sit cross-legged if you can. Frog's legs, like so, will do if you can't sit cross-legged or on a block. And think about where your seat bones are. So you've got that nice equal weight going down through both of your seat bones. So think of how you would be in the saddle. Equal weight, and then arms across your chest, and you're turning your shoulders from side to side, trying to keep your shoulders level as you keep that equal weight through your seat bone. So that feeling of what your upper body does is not interfering with what your lower body, what your pelvis is doing. And obviously sometimes in the saddle everything is working together, but sometimes you want to be able to really isolate that movement to one particular body part. Okay, we're now going to go down onto your side. Now apologies, I'm not in my usual spot in the garden. It's not the flattest bit, so I'll do the best I can. Hopefully it's a bit flatter for you at home. You're going to go onto your side with your legs straight, and we're going to do some glutes lifts. So my feet are dangling a wee bit here, it's ideal. Okay, so you want a little mouse hole position open underneath you before you start. Then you're lifting and lowering your top leg. As you lift your top leg, that mouse hole is staying open, because if you watch, if I sink down through my mouse hole, I can actually change the angle of my leg without using my glutes so much. So you're keeping that mouse hole open and therefore making sure that all of that lift is coming through your glutes. Once again, you're being very precise. We're going to change it. So you turn your toes down and your heel up, and you're carrying on with those lifts. The mouse hole is staying open still. And then we're going to change it so your toes are up and your heel is down. And again, you're getting those nice lifts. Using your glutes, the mouse hole is open. And by doing these lifts with your hip in a different position, different angle, that means we're working different portions of your glutes muscles. They don't just go in one direction, they go in a few different directions. So by changing the angle of the hip, we're working those different muscle fibre portions. Okay, you're going to prop up onto your forearm, and we're going to do the side kick. You can do whichever option you want to do, so you can go from this position, keeping your bottom leg on the floor, bringing your top knee up as if you're polishing a coffee table, or you can do the slightly harder version, keeping your pelvis off the floor. And then you just have to work a little bit harder at that control. This is a hip positioning exercise, so keep your pelvis nice and still with this version. So you're looking to keep your pelvis very stable, you're just moving the leg. So think about when you're moving your leg in the saddle, you want to be able to put your foot in front of the girth, on the girth, behind the girth, wherever you need it, without it necessarily interfering and making you collapse, tip, wobble, whatever, through the rest of your body. Okay, last one. And then we're going to prop over onto your front and stay propped up on your forearms, looking at your hands. If you can, bring your pelvic floor muscles up onto floor 3, lift your pelvis and slowly back down. So it's pelvic floor onto floor 3, lift your pelvis and slowly back down. If you find that a wee bit easy, tuck your toes underneath your feet, lift your pelvis, lift your knees and lower your pelvis, or you can do the harder version, lifting knees and pelvis together and lowering them together. If your back gets uncomfortable in this position, I wouldn't suggest that you do the knees and pelvis together. I suggest, or even the second version, I suggest you just stick to having your feet flat and lifting your pelvis. And as I said before, hopefully your feet aren't sinking down into a dip away from behind you. So choose the one for this one though that works best for your back. Keep your upper body still. So the challenge with this one is to not let your head dip down towards the floor as you do those lifts. Keeping your upper body nice and still as you lift and move through your pelvis. Let's do one more of these. I've been joined by an ant, wonderful, as long as it's the black ant kind, I don't mind. Okay, then we're going to turn around onto the other side. My head is going to disappear now. And we're going to start off once again with your glutes lift. So once again, mouse hole position open as you lift that top leg and slowly back down. So you're lifting and lowering, moving from your hip. The mouse hole is open. Now you might notice, you might not, and it is partly the ground, but my mouse hole isn't quite as big on this side. Most of us, and I get asked this a lot, have one side where our mouse hole is a little bit bigger. That's partly our natural body shape, it's partly also a habit of how we tend to hold our bodies, particularly if you've had children. Okay, then we're going to change again, so heel is down and toe is up. And I'm attacking my gooseberry brush, marvellous. And it's not even got loads of gooseberries on it this year. I don't know what's happened to them all. Okay, so mouse hole open. Leading with your heel, toes are down. And then we're going to change finally, so your toes are up and your heel is down. Just watch with this one that you're not tempted to bring the leg forwards. You want the leg to be going up and down. Still with that mouse hole nicely open underneath you. Okay, super. Then we're going to prop up onto your forearm again and do your side kick once again. So legs in that nice capital L position, and you can either do polishing the imaginary coffee table from here, or once again lifting your pelvis and going from here. Either way, keeping your pelvis really nice and still, so you're getting that precision of movement through your hip. And you want to keep it nice and controlled and smooth. This is your opportunity to really think about the quality of your movement. It's really hard when you're on the horse to be thinking about the quality of what you're doing, because you're so busy thinking about what's the horse doing, where's it going, what's it up to, what's it thinking to spook at next. So now, the more you practice your quality of movement off the horse, the easier it is when you are on the horse. Okay, pop that leg down. We're going to turn onto your back and we're going to do the crisscross exercise. I'm going to give you two options. If you want to go from the floor, feet and knees approximately hip width apart, pelvic floor onto floor 3 if you can, and you're going to reach so your hands go on either side of one knee, come back down, straight up, and you're going to do the same thing onto the other knee. So it's up to you. Or you can go from the tabletop position, and this time as you reach up, your outer hand goes towards your ankle, the crossing over hand comes to the inside of the knee, back down, straight up onto the other side. So you keep swapping from side to side. Remember to keep breathing. If you're doing this harder version, then don't worry too much about your pelvic floor. If you're doing the easier version, give it a go. We can do one more each way because this is hard. Super. Okay, bring your feet down one time if they were up and give yourself a little bit of a rest. Okay, we're going to move on to the double leg stretch, and I'm going to give you the harder arm option because I think you are more than capable of doing it. You can do this with your legs on the floor if you want to, or you can have them in tabletop, but I think as this is generally a harder session, see if you can have a go with them in tabletop. So pelvic floor onto floor 3 before you start, and you're going to synchronise straightening one leg as you do a circle out with your arms and bring the leg back in as you bring your circle back in. So you circle out and circle in, circle out and circle in. I do apologize about my gooseberry bush, so helpful. And as you're doing this, think about those imaginary ropes that connect your ribs to your pelvis. And as your arms and legs go apart, you don't end up sticking your rib cage up towards the ceiling. You're then hollowing and fixing through your low back and making it quite rigid. So yes, by keeping your ribs in that sinking towards your pelvis position, you are keeping your low back and tummy quite still, but you're not fixing and getting rigid. Whereas when you go into this position, you are very fixed. So really try to keep that neutral position in the middle. One more with each leg. Super. Okay, bring your feet down one at a time, bring your arms down, and we are going to go onto your hands and knees. Now this is why I have to be careful I don't face plant down to this nice dip in my garden. Okay, so I'd like you to have your hands just in front of your shoulders, knees under hips, toes tucked underneath your feet. You're going to lift your knees and go over into that leg pull position, come back over and down. So lift, over, come back over your knees and down. Now you can stay doing that one if you want to, or for the added challenge, should you wish to have a go, stay in that position and see if you can do a couple of press-ups before you come back over and down. So you can just go straight into that position and come back, or you can stay there and see if you can do a couple of press-ups before you come back over and down. I'm going to do this one more time. Okay, super. Right, bring your hands towards your knees and you're going to come up so that you are kneeling onto one knee. Okay, and hopefully my head isn't going to disappear because I'm in a different place. Everything seems a bit wonky. I don't quite know if I've got my camera in the right spot. Okay, so you're going to see if you can go from this position, kneeling on one knee, to standing with that knee up in front of you. So you're going down onto one knee, up onto one leg. down onto one knee, up onto one leg. We're not going to do loads of these because these are really hard. If you can't do it, don't panic, just do as much of the movement as you can. Last one on this leg. Okay, then we can come back down, swap over, same thing the other way, so coming up and down. Now this is, when I do this in my classes, definitely find that everyone has one side that they find they're much stronger on. It's a real glutes challenge, particularly on the leg that you're standing on. Whoops, she's falling over. But you also need to be able to have good strength through the thigh on the other side. Let's do one more. Okay, then the next time you come up, you're just going to bring your feet back underneath you. Okay, so if you can stand on one leg and do a few squats. And if that's getting easy, sitting on your toes and do a few squats on your toes. Never forget about your calf muscles. Woo, she says, falling over. Particularly if you event, jump, you need good strong calves. Okay, let's swap onto the other leg. Start off just with the straightforward squats. And then see if you can have a go on your calves, on your toes. Strengthen your calves. Not to fall over. Okay, super. Feet on the floor. Onto one leg. Bring your hands up in front of you. I'd like you to close your eyes. Actually, watch what I'm going to do first before you close your eyes. So you can do the upper limb series, bring your arms up and out and down and in, and then see if you can do a few of these with your eyes closed. You really want to tune into what you feel. You're not relying on your eyes. Think about when you're in the saddle, you don't want to be looking at your hands. You want to just trust that they're going wherever you put them, and they're not going to interfere with your balance. Okay, open your eyes. Swap onto the other leg and off you go again. So again, closing your eyes. Keeping those nice smooth movements with your hands, your arms, not letting that interfere with your balance. Okay, super. Then bring your arms back down by your side, and I'd like you to stand with one foot in front of the other, with your back heel down, your back knee straight. You're taking your weight forwards over that front leg. Feel yourself lengthen through the back calf, and then come back up, and again forwards, back up, and we're going to do one more to that side. Okay, then swap, so put the other foot in front, again back heel down, back knee straight as you go forwards, and again feel that lengthen through your back calf, and to come up. And we'll go again, same thing. Up. And one more time. Super. Okay, and we are going to stop there. So hopefully that was a reasonable challenge. Having done this one, probably a good idea to go and do one of the relaxation sessions just to bring everything back down a little bit. Well done having a go at those. If those have highlighted any differences between left and right, go off and keep working at those to gradually improve your symmetry. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Otherwise, look after yourselves, and I'll see you very soon.